Hey, what's going on? You're a part of the A game. I'm Rob Akampora. As we're all kind of grouped. Yeah, the music stopped, but we don't care.
Oh Jesus!
You know.
I was feeling it, man.
I'm glad you liked that. I got to give props to the band Love in Reverse, who came up with that song called Bella Baby. It's now available on iTunes, so if you like it, find it there. It's good stuff.
Hit it. Hit that.
Hey, I plug everything. That's the one good thing about this podcast. If there's something to be plugged, it will be plugged. And there's at least 72 things we have to plug here in the next hour.
I say that to my wife every twice a week. I'm like, if there's something to be plugged, okay? Oh, Jesus.
Man, I hope she's not watching. No, she's watching. She's watching the game.
Right out of earshot. She's right there.
I should mention that Matt had the Mount St. Mary's game on in the background for the NCAA tournament. So we are the play-in game to do this.
Listen, this is an amazing night. I'm also a huge Michigan State fan. They got a playing game at about 10 o'clock tonight, so I've got to stay sober. I got to stay sober enough till about 10 o'clock, and then I can pass out about halftime on that game. So
perfect. Yeah. I should mention the two gentlemen that are here. One of them has a distinctive background as a professional baseball player who's turned to acting. Your wife is a saint, Ken. That's all I'm going to say. You pick
right. I say that all the time.
Yeah,
a man he has never ever had one day in his life had a real job ever.
But he picked a life where you go, okay, the top 1% make it in baseball. Right. Okay, so you know what? I'll decide to go acting. The top 1% make it in acting.
That's right. Hey, I used to work construction, man. So don't tell me, Matt, that I
that's
never
true.
worked.
That's true.
I did for a long time.
In construction, and I actually cleaned garbage trucks when I was in college. So we both had some shit jobs.
We all have. We've all had that one shit job at some point. So when you look at what you're doing now, you kind of go, "Yeah, I paid my dues." I don't want to.
You see people work for a living, and you go, "Yeah, man, I don't work for a living, and I don't ever want to work for a living."
Exactly.
I'll tell you what, though, I loved working construction.
Come here. I want you guys. All right, I'm doing a podcast right now. My daughter's boyfriend just walked in.
Right.
What am I doing with this? My 17-year-old daughter. Get in here. Get in the frame. This is.
I didn't mention that.
Right see the frame. Get in there. Get in that frame.
Stop.
Hey,
what am I doing with that?
You're just jealous of his hair.
I mean, what am I doing with that bullshit? Right? I mean, I'm like, I need Ken Arnold here to punch him in the face.
I would.
This guy played professional baseball right here, my producing partner.
Exactly.
Okay.
And
yes.
You know what, Matt? That's a good place to start because Ken, 9 professional seasons in baseball.
That's right.
You got as high as AA, which is pretty impressive. So you came out of Wagner, you get into baseball. You're a guy who is known as a really good defensive shortstop. I was looking at your stats and I'm going, 960 fielding percentage. Any major league team would take that kind of defense.
Yeah.
Your offense was good. It wasn't elite. I'm not trying to be dissing here, but I'm just saying you were known more for your glove than your bat.
That is true.
But he also had a couple of seasons that were pretty impressive at the plate.
Yeah, I did. I
Yes,
did. I had a few seasons that I did really well. And then the other seasons where I didn't do so well, I wasn't a starter. I wasn't playing every day. So the seasons that I played every day, I did well at the plate. The seasons where I didn't play every day, it was difficult. You know, you would sit for 4 or 5 days and then you'd have to come in and face 97 miles an hour. Wow. That's tough.
And that's the thing a lot of people don't realize. When you're at the AA level, you're where it's like maybe you in rookie league level and even at A ball, you're not getting the elite fastball. But by AA, you're seeing the 97, 98 mile an hour heater with the 12 to 6 curveball, and you're going, oh, what did I step into?
But it's also, I mean, Ken, you can back me up on this, but that's also like if you're only playing every 5 days, you're batting at a pitcher level. A pitcher only hits every 5 days.
Yeah,
if you only see a fastball every 5 days. I mean, I can't imagine. My son even says it, like he gets better the more he plays. When he doesn't, if they have a week off, everything falls apart. I mean, that game. That's why I love. It's what we all love and hate about baseball. You got to be in it every damn day. There is no time off. You've mentally adjusted for all of what's going to be thrown at you every day, all day, and to have any time off. I mean, whether it's the show business or baseball, there's no room for time off.
It's not an easy sport, right?
No, but you make a great point about it because there is some correlations on both. When you get into the rhythm and you're doing the work and you're doing it consistently, the work becomes really good. You get into those hot streaks. And then when all of a sudden you're not working, you start to wonder, okay, do I still know how to do this? Can I get back into the rhythm of it all?
Yeah. I mean, it's tough when you go long stretches without having an acting gig. You know, you feel like, wow, things get rusty and but fortunately, you get back into it, and if you're a working actor, you're always working on your craft. You're doing things that you can stay fresh and you can stay sharp and you keep moving along. So I do a lot of classes and I work with other actors all the time. So that keeps me sharp. So when I get an opportunity, I'm ready.
But COVID, I think Ken will agree with this. COVID has created a world where we're all kind of on the sidelines right now. I don't care what kind of business you're in. Yeah. Nobody's had a great A game for the last 372 days. I mean, it's just been brutal. And for those of us in those guys and gals in sports, people in show business, it's just been, inconsistent. And Ken and I have been desperately trying to kind of, which is a little bit about tonight, but keeping things going. In spite of the, this quarantine and COVID, keeping your A game moving forward, trying to kind of, make things happen on your own. And, I respect anybody that is like, even small business owners, whatever, like everybody that has tried to get through this COVID and come out the other side, still with a pulse is a real testament, and Ken and I have done that for the last year. We've just tried to not let what should sideline anybody else. We've kind of used it as a chance to regroup and retool,
Yeah, I get exactly what you're saying. And to take it one step further with you, Ken, personally, it looked like before the pandemic, things were really starting to roll for you. I mean, it was probably the best role that you were on. Speaking of streaks, when you talk about the streaks of acting, things are going well. I saw that you had a big production that was coming up opposite O'Shea Jackson. I mean, Ice Cube's kid, who's a very talented actor.
Yes, I was fortunate enough to be cast in a show called Swagger for Apple, joint Apple CBS production, and I can't say too much about the show, but it got shut down at first. It got shut down because one of the main actors got injured, and it's a basketball show, so there's a lot of basketball, and he couldn't do the basketball stuff, so they shut it down. But while that was shut down, they were thinking about coming back in a couple months. Pandemic started. Right. Then they shut down for almost a year. I went a whole year before I worked on the show again. And fortunately, I was able to get back on set in December. And then I was also on set 2-3 weeks ago. I was on set again for the series. So, I mean, it would have been great if we could have been consistent with that and just stayed right through. But, I'm very fortunate. A lot of actors haven't had that opportunity. And I was just glad to be able to get back out and work.
And I'm kind of looking forward to this. If I'm not mistaken, there's a certain Brooklyn net that apparently this show's kind of inspired by.
Actually, he's from here, Garnett.
Oh.
He's from the Prince George's County, which is the next county over from me.
Oh shit!
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that.
I didn't realize that either.
Yeah, and it's based on that culture, that AAU culture from Prince George's County down here, which is kind of nice. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, we'll look forward to seeing more of that with you.
Yeah,
definitely.
Absolutely.
Mr. Servitto, I mean, there's so many things I could talk about here, but I want to hit on two things. I look, I can mention the Sopranos. You probably talked that to death.
Oh, that's so 1998. Like, let's move on.
No, what I want to do is I want to go here. Give me photo 11. This is where I want to go. I want to go here.
Oh, there he is.
Because when I look at Banshee and I'm looking at this photo, I got to ask you this: as somebody who's seen the show, at this point in the show, the beard came into play. You've become sheriff. In a weird way, it's sort of that the beard came in and your character kind of took a bit of a turn.
Yeah.
I mean, in a weird way, did the beard help that?
Well, you know what's crazy? I got a call from the producer between I think that's season 3.
Yeah, I think
season 2 and season 3. I get a call from the main producer, Greg Yatanis, and he says, "Hey, man, can you grow a beard pretty quickly?" And I'm like, "Yeah, in about an hour." And he goes, I don't know. Like, I'm wondering if like we couldn't kind of do something. We want to create the idea that your character's gone off the rails. And at the beginning of season 3, I think the first episode, there's an incredible scene where Brock, who has been a rock solid kind of the only character on the show that like is going by the letter of the law.
Well said. Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Brock goes rogue and decides he's going to kill somebody who killed one of his partners. Mm-hmm. Like, everybody else on the show has been very outside of the parameters of, normal morality. And Brock has been the only person on the show that's been decent. And now Brock's, everything's gone crazy when Brock goes, and goes rogue and starts killing fugitives. And that's what he said. He said, that's what we want to establish, is that there's no good guys in this town. You're the only good guy, and we're even going to get rid of you. And I said, let's do it. So he said, grow the beard. I let it grow. And then one of the fans created a Twitter account for Brock's beard. So Brock's beard had its own, I think it still has its own Twitter account. And then some pop artist who loved the show sent us a giant canvas painting of just my beard. It was incredible. So when we commissioned him, it's up in my bedroom. So my producer, he said, this is above my bed. So if I get sex from my wife, it's because of your beard. He commissioned a giant canvas that hangs above his bed in Los Angeles. And I have a small one. I don't think that sounds right, but they made me a small mock-up of the canvas. So I've got that upstairs in my bedroom. But yeah, the beard became its own thing. And it was really black. It looked like a G.I. Joe beard because it was dyed. I mean, listen, my beard looks like Ken's. It's got tons of gray, but we dyed it, and I had this really black beard. I look like a pirate. So Brock's beard became this whole kind of like, Brock's beard, man. Fuck yeah, he's taking those bad guys down. Not Brock, but Brock's beard. So we kept it for the last 2 seasons, and I had a blast. Like, I loved it.
I read a story that you were not even supposed to last the first season. Is that true when it came to
that? That is so true.
Wow.
My character was contracted for 1 season, and the Banshee fans that are tuning in tonight, Brock was supposed to die in that famous shootout in the last episode of season 1. Mm-hmm. They go at Rabbit's guys in a big shootout in a kind of warehouse situation, and Brock was supposed to die. And somewhere around episode 10, the producers come to me. I've got a 1-year contract, and they said, man, we love you. We love the character. We're not going to kill you. Will you renegotiate? And I said, yeah, but what are you guys going to do? I'm like, we'll figure it out. Mm-hmm. So they just created this whole situation, which was so cool in that episode, where everybody's like dying. Everybody's on the floor. There's tons of gunfire. And Brock just like fires his gun and kills the bad guy. And like, explosion happens or something. And it was like, I saved the day. And so no longer am I not only dead, I am now like a hero in the world of Banshee. Yeah. And then I stuck around for 4 years. And one of my producers used to every year at the end of the season send me a bottle of scotch and say, dude, congratulations. You were supposed to be dead 1 year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And the highest testament I can pay to what you did is that you're still here and you bring so much to the show. I was overwhelmed because I truly, like I said, I was ready to go. But sticking around for 3 more years on that show, and then they really wrote into my character. Like I always said, like, I started to become the eyes of the audience. Like, I was the character that would comment on what you're watching. So if you're watching some insane scene with Hood and Rabbit, I'm going, what the hell are we? What's going on right now? It's exactly what the audience is thinking. Right. And so I kind of became the eyes and ears for the fans. And they also started bringing a lot of comedy into my role, which I freaking loved. So, yeah, man, I mean, really a real one of the highlights of my career, other than, 7 years on Sopranos, is making it past season 1 of Banshee and going all the way to the end.
I love the passion you talk about it, the way you're just talking about it right now. Like you said, there is that combination, and you are somebody who can do comedy, can do drama, and it's rare that when you can get both to come together like that.
Shut up, Ken.
He can't do comedy. No, dude, He's not funny. He's not funny.
You know what? It's the people around him to make him funny. I'll get into that.
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, what happens is, and this is like, I always reference the show Friends. Once you figure out, the writers on Friends, once they figured out what Joey Tribbiani was like,
right?
It's one of those rare situations where Friends actually got better the longer it went on. I actually like seasons 6, 7, and 8 better than 1, 2, and 3.
I really didn't really get into it until about season 4. Honestly,
and that's what I'm saying. And it was the same thing with Banshee. When people say, "Oh, I didn't see it early," I'm like, "Stick around because it gets better." And it was the first time that I experienced that. On Sopranos, I felt like they had everybody's voice almost immediately. On Banshee, it took a season or 2, and once the writers found our voices, they wrote into it. When they discovered Matt Servitto has this kind of like acerbic, dark sense of humor, they started writing my character to make commentary on all the shit that was happening. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. I would be making commentary. it was amazing. It was so fun to experience and let them kind of bring a little bit of your own personality in the writing. That only happens with shows that go beyond 1, 2, 3 seasons,
right?
Where the writers finally have the voice of the actors, the characters. It just writes itself. They say, what are we going to do this week? We're going to let it just flow, you know?
Good stuff with Ken Arnold and Matt Servitto here on the A Game. There's a lot to cover here, including their movies coming out. It's making its debut on the 27th through the Garden State Film Festival. We'll give you all the details, because if you can't be in Asbury Park, you can watch the film thanks to the app that the Garden State Film Festival has available, so you can watch it from anywhere that you are at. Since you mentioned dark, give me photo 9, Ming, if you don't mind. Not often do I get to say this, because I've been radio 25 years, I've been podcasting for a year. I get to finally ask this question. So what's it like being Satan?
Dude, you know, I think, listen, I've always said hell is a TV show set in hell that never gets canceled. I mean, it's like we just kept going and going. That makeup was about 2 hours every day, and that was hell. That was hell. Like getting 6 in the morning. Ken can talk about. I mean, you know.
Ken, you saw this happen? Like you were actually there watching him go through the makeup process?
No, I've done plenty of horror films and had makeup.
You understand the process,
No, in fact, truly. In fact, I might say the only thing worse than what I did on the Hell Show was doing a horror film with Ken, where it's 6 in the morning in a freezing cold environment.
Oh, stop crying!
Oh no, listen, cold.
It was 50 degrees.
Terrible. We're not getting paid well. It's freezing cold. We're making a horror movie, and they're making me up with like scars and like an eye patch and all this shit. And you're just shivering, and they're sticking fake teeth. Like it looked amazing, but I'm like, there's no magic at 6 in the morning. There's no magic at 7 in the morning. Magic starts at about noon. I don't know what the rest of you people, but I'm like, Ken knows this. Like, we're about to do another horror movie together. And I just said to my producer over in Europe, because we're shooting in Europe, I said, we're doing 12 to 12. I am there's no magic in the morning guy.
Ken, did he actually put that in the contract?
I'm not kidding. I'm like,
he said that in the production meeting.
Listen,
wow.
Dude, let me just tell you, I just worked again this week for the first time in a long time. I did an episode of Billions this week.
Yeah, you've had a recurring role on there for a while. Yes.
4 seasons. Mm-hmm. I did an episode. I had a 6 a.m. call in Brooklyn, which means when you live in New Jersey, I had to hit the road at 5 in the morning, which meant I had to get up at 4 in the morning to get coffee, take a shower, and get on the road. Mm-hmm. So you get up at 4 in the morning. So I get to Brooklyn at 6 in the morning, makeup, acting. I'm acting by 7 in the morning I'm delirious. I have and then I was wrapped by, Ken knows this. I texted him. I said, 10 a.m. I said, I'm done. I've already wrapped. And I said, I have no recollection of what I just did. I'm so exhausted. It could be a piece of shit or it could be really good, but I have no idea. The good thing is most TV and film acting, and Ken can talk to this, requires you to do less. And when you're really tired, you do less.
Yeah. And
I said, maybe I'm doing good work at 8 in the morning, because at 2 in the afternoon, when I've had 8 cups of coffee,
there's
I'm manic.
Kicking in. Sure.
I'm absolutely manic. Ken, what do you think? I mean, you think
it's true. It's true. You know, you do stuff, you get there so early and you're just still half asleep, and you do a scene, and it's probably the best work you're going to do all day, because once you get coffee in you and you start rolling, you're just
you're trying to act. And I'm like, meanwhile, you did nothing early on, and they're like, oh, it was so good, man. We're using all of that. And I'm like, really? Because I have no recollection of what the hell I just did. And it's like, cool. Well, we got it, you know? So anyways.
We just got a comment in the thing over there from D. Wayne. Wayne is
Ming. Can you click on that so I can see it too? Since we Ken is paying attention to the comments here.
Yeah, D. Wayne. He worked on the horror movie Matt was talking about.
Okay.
He worked on that.
Oh yeah.
No, they both lie.
They both lie. He's telling us they both lie. D. Wayne, he's a lot of fun, man. He worked behind the scenes on the film. I mean, he did almost everything on that film.
He's proof that you could be stoned and still get your job done on a movie set.
Exactly. His catering was the best catering we had.
That's true.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Who wouldn't? Yeah, who wouldn't want their catering done by somebody that's stoned? Because it's like they've got the munchies. Like they're giving you the best catering, right? I'm like, come on, man.
That was a great day. I will say that we ate well. We ate well.
Just to reference back to the photo where we were talking about Satan, Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell was part of Adult Swim on the Cartoon Network. It's one of those things where I've seen this man's face on a billboard. They were promoting it, for God's sake. And that in itself says a lot.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, if you're talking about a moment in my career, I used to drive around LA in the 90s as a young actor, and I'd see all these billboards on Sunset Boulevard of like super, TV shows, movies, young faces, all this stuff. And I'm like, man, someday my face is going to be on one of those billboards. You wait, you watch, man.
But you didn't expect it to be Satan, did you?
No, totally. That's what I'm saying. It's like when it finally happened, it was somewhere in like 2014, and Adult Swim put my face as Satan on a billboard. Yep. And I shared that on social media, and I said, if I could have picked something that I would be doing on a billboard, it would be that. Like, I absolutely love that it wasn't like me with a gun. Like,
right.
Yeah, man, Law and Order, Toledo, Ohio. Like, or just some sad kind of like Matt Servitto, Dr. MD. Like, no, it was me with a full-on horns, red makeup, beard. And it's the best billboard on Sunset Boulevard. Adult Swim buys the best billboard. It's in front of the Chateau Marmont, which is like the coolest, sexiest. That's where Jim Belushi died. Like, This is the coolest hotel in Hollywood. They buy that billboard every year.
Jim Belushi died?
He means John Belushi.
Oh. Yeah, I was going to say, come on. I love Jim.
No, screw it.
Do that.
Jim.
He means Jim.
Jim's career's been dead for a while.
You're in Oregon.
Jim's career's been dead for a while.
Don't do that.
Anyways,
that's why.
Don't do that to me. I don't, I
yeah, you're like, Ken's like, oh my God. My heart, I skipped a beat.
Yeah.
Jim?
I
mean, oh my God, he's one of my acting heroes. Anyways, that billboard is pretty cool. And so I've got pictures. I've said to my wife, I want a picture of my billboard on Sunset Boulevard because that was it. I'm not kidding. Like, when I saw the pictures of that, I was like, I literally felt like that's it. I can check that off the bucket list. I made it.
You've done well, sir. No question about it. Ken Arnold, Matt Servitto is here on the A Game. Their start together, wasn't The Night Watchman the film you did in 2017 that brought you guys together, or was it sooner than that?
No, it was The Night Watchman.
Yeah.
Here's a funny story. I got a call from my agent years ago when The Sopranos was being filmed, and they said, hey, we want you to be on The Sopranos as an FBI agent for a whole week.
Okay.
And I couldn't do it. I had other things that I had already committed to. We could have met then, right? Because if I was the FBI agent on there, I was definitely probably going to be hanging out with him. So,
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even imagine. No. Let's figure this out. What were you doing? Like, here's the greatest TV show of all time.
I'm going to tell you.
The Smithsonian. Like, you could be a part of history, Ken.
I'm going to tell you what I was doing, and you're going to say,
inspecting the penis.
Exactly.
No,
exactly.
No, you were not.
Yeah, no. Or something like it. So Rob, let me tell you a little story. One of the greatest things I ever did in my career. All right. So we do a lot of industrial videos down here in the DC area.
Right.
And the Nurses Association hired me to do a series of videos, and one of them was inspecting the penis. So I am the host of Inspecting the Penis.
Listen,
Matt loves that story. I love that story. But it's the highlight. It's the highlight of my career.
Allow me to
say the penis.
Let me say it.
Sopranos, inspecting the penis.
Here he is, Ken Arnold, Private Dick. There it is.
I'm telling you.
Ready, Matt?
I mean, honestly, TV history. Looking at my junk. TV history, looking at my junk. Yeah.
Dude, you know how many people who work in the industry, the nursing industry, have come up to me and said, hey, you're the guy. And I said,
that's your penis.
I'm the guy. No, I wasn't. I wasn't the penis. I was.
Listen, I would respect you if you said it was my penis in the video. It's like, no, you were just the guy looking at some other guy's penis.
I was talking about the one over my shoulder on the green screen.
And that's more pathetic.
Yes. No, it isn't.
Yeah.
Alfred Molina asked me if I was the penis. He goes, well, you're the penis. I was like,
whoa.
No, I was not.
No,
I was not the penis.
I was not the penis friend.
No, not penis. Not me. Sorry.
Not me.
Obviously, you guys just totally clicked during The Night Watchman. And it's
it was awful. I hated him.
Oh, okay. So you're putting up with Servitto. That's
it's a little bit of Brokeback Mountain. Peppered with inspecting the penis. Peppered with
everything
peppered
goes
with,
back to inspecting the penis.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
So yeah, we had a blast. We had a blast on The Night Watchman. And we became friends, and then, you know, we started doing other things, and then we got into the new movie that we did, a comedy of horrors, and now we're doing another one, you know, in Europe coming up. So yeah, it's been a fun ride, you know. So
it's a long way from over.
Yeah, I get a feeling. Yeah.
We'll
I'm going to talk about that other film later, but this is the film that is coming to the Garden State Film Festival. Give me photo 6, Ming, and it will be playing on the 27th. This is the grand debut of the film. They chose to use the Garden State Film Festival to do it. GSFF.org. You can go to the website, find out more about how you can watch this film from the comforts of your own home. But if you happen to be in the Asbury Park area and would like to attend, there is limited seating. You can attend that way as well. So a lot of good stuff happening with that. The film, by the way, not only features D2's Crazy Maniacs, but it also features Matt, one of your co-stars from Adult Swim, is in this movie.
Yes. Who I was just on the phone with tonight. Yeah, he so my film, which is one of 5 in the Comedy of Horrors Volume 1,
right,
is a lot of the people that I did the Hell Show with on Adult Swim. So Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell. The production staff is involved on the show. The actors, even the female lead in the Goodhead, is somebody who did a couple, which was amazing because one of the things we kept begging the producers to bring on was more women, right? Because apparently Hell was only riddled with men.
I watched this show. There is a lot on that show. That's true.
We kept saying, like, really, there's no bad women. Like, can we not bring in like Lizzie Borden or something? So they started writing female bad, you know, people that would go to hell. And Addie was one of them. She was great, and she did an episode with us. And so when we decided to make this film after the fact, I called her up and I said, listen, it's some of the, you know, Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell people. And she jumped in, and I didn't know how good she was. Like, she also, which I didn't realize, had a martial arts background. So she comes in on this short and just literally does all sorts of martial arts, fighting fake demons in this film. But yeah, Henry is, you know, some of the best work he's ever done because he's just so damn good in this thing. And yeah, the people that did the visual effects, special effects, makeup, costumes, everything, every music, everybody was from Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell. And it's a tribute to the show, but also like that has ended its run on Adult Swim, and we're just trying to keep the party going. So hopefully Goodhead is an into keeping all of us together to make a lot of comedy and do some silly shit.
Good stuff. Ken, what about your part in this? You have your segment.
Yes, we do. We do a segment called Welcome to Clown Town. You know, it's got clowns in it, obviously, and I play one of the. I play Sheriff Skittles, the head clown.
Well, in clowns, right there. You got me at that. So
yeah, it was fun. We had a really good time with that. You know, I thought of this idea. I was like, look, we got a limited budget, but we can make these short films. We can make it an anthology. We can get it out, and we can do it rather quickly. You know, COVID kind of slowed us down a little bit, but
we had to.
Yeah, we were able to keep it all together and keep it moving. And we had talented people throughout. You know, we got the people from the Hell Show. You know, so we were very fortunate. And you know, we made a good, entertaining movie. So it's fun. It's funny. It moves. So yeah, that's what we were trying to do.
We'll give a little sneak peek in just a minute, but let me mention everybody. Ken Arnold, Matt Servitto, Henry Zabrowski, who plays Gary on The Hell Show. We got Jimmy Bellinger, who you may have seen in Blockers, and that was a really cool film. Yep. And a lady that I respect a lot, Rain Pryor, Richard Pryor's daughter, head of the class on ABC. But the thing that stands out with me about Rain was right around the mid-'90s, I was into Chicago Hope on CBS, seeing her and her father. It's a memorable episode if you ever find it. It's worth watching.
Shit, I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's one of the last things. I think Richard did one or two more things after that, but it was one of the last things he'd ever did on television. And Rain and Richard are there. Basically their arc on the show was, here he is with MS, so he's in and she's playing the daughter, and very moving.
Wow.
Man.
Oh, I've never seen it. I'll have to look it up, man. That's awesome.
Definitely worth looking at.
Yeah, we tried, you know, Rain's here near me in Maryland. She lives in the Baltimore area. And we try to get her into every project we can when we do something. So,
yeah, she's such a great person.
she's
such
fantastic.
A great person.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear she still wants to work. It's like it's a choice at this point, I would think, in her career, because it's like she had it, walked away from it. Now in a weird way, it's like, hey, you want to be, and she kind of fits this whole crazy gang, as I'll say, with you guys.
Yeah, because it's comedy, it's drama, it's everything, and like, she can kind of cover a lot of ground, and there's no attitude. She's just absolutely one of the players, and she just wants to have fun, like we all do. Just keep working.
Let's give you a clip right now. Here's a little sneak peek of the film, A Comedy of Horrors, Volume 1, with Ken Arnold, Matt Servitto, and the rest of the crew. Check this out right now.
Don't you think this blood and guts, low-budget horror stuff's kind of obsolete?
Yeah.
Obsolete?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Can I show you guys something?
Oh, you saved me!
Can't wait to see what you guys got me.
In the email, you called him balls and cock.
Do I have your attention now? I stole your soul.
This isn't a game.
It is a game, Larry.
You've all been poisoned.
How long do I have to hold this shit for?
Let's go upstairs before I pass out.
This is a waste of time.
Is it impossible? Or is it voodoo, baby?
You have good head.
I want my head! Are you kissing me? Shane!
The show is over.
Holy shit, Megan!
I love the music, by the way.
Oh my God, I can't wait to see that movie.
I can't wait to see it either.
Yeah, my God, that looks really good.
Oh, the
I mean,
guy with his head on
not
fire.
good, but that looks really good. Yeah.
It was interesting to see Matt with hair. On other parts other than the face.
He's one sexy dude with hair, isn't he?
Yeah,
I gotta say,
it grows everywhere but there.
Believe me, I know. Trust me.
You, me, and Ken look like three thumbs. Right,
Yes.
Ken?
No, it's like, here we go. It's like going, gone.
Yeah.
Photo 10 real quick, Ming. Garden State Film Festival, you can get the app through a lot of the services, through the Apple iStore, through Google Play, access the web app. Get your app, so this way, if you can't be in Asbury Park, because not everybody can, you can watch the film that way when it debuts on the 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's Ken Arnold. It's Matt Servitto here on the A Game. We'll get the random shots in a second, but I want to go back a little bit. Ken, I got an old photo of you I'd like to pull up. Give me photo 1.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Look at this handsome devil.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
there
God.
he is. Look at that guy.
Now, if I did my research correctly, was that with the Thunder Bay Whiskey Jacks? I love the name.
Yes, Thunder Bay Whiskey Jacks in Thunder Bay, Canada. I'll tell you what, it's a beautiful country up there.
Yeah.
And first time I ever saw a moose, and it scared me. We were on a bus, and
Right.
we're driving down the road, and you just see trees being knocked over, and then all of a sudden you just see it poof walk right out in front of us. It was huge. It had a rack. It was gigantic. I was like, oh my God, never seen anything like this. It was big.
Was that like the most interesting place in your travels during professional baseball? Was Thunder Bay, or was there another place that kind of you go right in your mind going, oh man, I remember this for this reason?
The first year, Huntington, West Virginia, was because it was the first time that I had ever been away playing baseball. I mean, I played in college, but I was close to home, so I could always go home. Huntington was interesting. I had a good time there. At Marshall University is where we stayed. So
cool.
Yeah, we stayed on their campus. We played not far from there. Peoria was okay, but Thunder Bay, because where it was located at the top of Lake Superior, was beautiful. It was just really nice up there, and the people were great. I had a great time up there.
Yeah, I had a feeling that at a place like that the fans would be very supportive. So it seemed like it was just a great experience overall.
Yeah, they were. I mean, it's not a huge town, but the stadium was full every night.
There, you got to sit there, and that gets the players pumped. Where you sit there and go, "Oh man, they're all our fans." Cool.
We were terrible. Our team was terrible.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, we weren't that good. So, but that's the way it goes. It was the first year for that league. Independent baseball was the first year that. Because there had been independent baseball teams before, like the one Kurt Russell's dad started. And if you've seen that documentary,
I have. Very interesting, by the way.
Yeah, the Bastards of Baseball or whatever. I think that's what it's called. But this was the first year that a league, the Northern League, had really established itself as an independent, and it kind of took off from there.
You actually have ties to New Jersey in what was the Atlantic League, but an interesting story, photo number 4, because the Somerset Patriots just became the AA affiliate of the New York Yankees.
They did.
So suddenly, here's this team that for decades had been a well-drawing team in Somerset, New Jersey, now suddenly gets this affiliation, and it dawns on me, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. We got a bunch of Jersey guys. We got a Jersey film. We got a guy who played for the Somerset Patriots. They're going to start having fans in the stands again. Why aren't these two guys throwing out a first pitch sometime this season and doing a movie night in Somerset? Just an idea.
I would love to, because Matt doesn't live too far from there.
See?
I mean, yeah, I would love to. I know the owner, Mr. Califer, and he has done a great job with that organization.
He really has.
Yeah, and just being in that ballpark, with all the fans there, it was a phenomenal experience. And to have the Yankees now as the franchise, that's congratulations to Mr. Califer, because he's a huge Yankee fan and he always wanted to be associated with them. And he finally, after 2 decades, he finally got that. Almost 3 decades.
And you think about it, wouldn't it have been sweeter if Sparky was still a part of the organization? If Sparky Law was still there.
Would. Best manager. I mean, he's so funny. He's like, give him the heater, Ricky, while he's smoking it. That was him. He was great. He would tell us stories about Thurman Munson and Reggie Jackson. Cool. He used to tell us stories about how Steinbrenner would come in and give Munson cash. He'd be like, look, don't fight with Reggie. Here, just leave him alone. Because Munson just hated Reggie. He was
Now it's only fair, since I had a young photo of Ken, I must pull up a young photo of Matt. So please give me photo number 2. He doesn't.
Yes.
Here. There it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. I bring to you straight from Pine Valley, Trasputin in his
smoldering.
And the last we saw of Trask, he was heading off to military school and never came back.
Yeah, Trask, that's what I say to people. It's like Trask went off to the first Iraq war. So that's 89, 90. And literally, my character was kind of, shown the exit door to go off to. And what's crazy is that was right. It connects me to Kelly Ripa. Kelly Ripa had just come on All My Children as the bad girl, and she was dating my brother on the show as they showed me the exit. So I crossed over with Kelly for about a month or 2, but she was about a 19-year-old girl from Philadelphia with an agent. And
she grew up in the town across next to mine, Matt. So,
in Jersey.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't.
That's what I mean. I mean, she was just a kid. She was such a kid, but very sweet. And she was dating my brother Brian Bodine. So we did actually have a brief crossover. And I'm trying to think, did they ever bring me back? I don't think so. What's crazy is I think I've just read online they're trying to resurrect All My Children, I believe, as a web series.
Matt, let me explain what I've heard.
And are you going to get me on it? That's what I want to know.
Here's the funny part. And this is where, Ken, I'm going to have to get a ruling from Bill Timoney on this if you are officially the 5th member.
Oh, Bill Timoney, yes.
Yeah. Matt officially becomes the 4th person from All My Children that's been on this podcast, because I started with Tim Carr, who played Colton in 2000 and 2001. Then I had Bill Timoney recently. So the Julia Roberts story alone was so good.
Bill's awesome.
Yeah, he is. And then he forwarded the podcast that we did to Liz Vassy, and then Liz came on, and
she's
her story
great.
about Harrison, she's amazing.
We crossed over. Yep.
So now it's Matt Servitto number 4, and Ken, I know you had an appearance.
Actually, I had a few. I did a bunch of under 5s. I was an orderly one time. I was a doctor another time. I was, the janitor one time. A bunch of different roles. But
all my children players.
Yeah.
See, I'm gonna have to. So I pretty much leave it to Timony to kind of say, Bill, does this officially make the 5th member of the All My Children family that I've had on this podcast? Because it's 6 and 7 are. I'll say 5, but 6 and 7 are coming. That's the crazy part. Yeah. It's a great world I've stumbled into, and everybody, like you said, Matt, it seems like everybody just gushes about the experience. And speaking of Pine Valley, the word has been that it's going to go for prime time. There's been word about ABC maybe picking it up. I know when I talked to Liz Vassy, she would love to write on it. Bill would love to see, if Vanderpool could come back. But I look at your character and I kind of go, be interesting if he just came back, even if it was just for like one episode and just this,
I mean, listen, you just kind of want to have a pulse, but it's like, that. But you also realize like there were so many moving parts. Yeah. I was there for. I actually spent more time on One Life to Live. I was at All My Children for about 1.5 years.
Right.
I was at One Life to Live for almost 3 years recurring. Yeah. All My Children was 89, 90. One Life to Live was like 92, 93, 94, something like that. But All My Children was a really great place to work. It was my first place, and it was such a great group of people. And it kind of spoiled me. I would say if your career starts on All My Children, you're screwed because you're never going to work with a greater, the minute I started working on that show in 1989 as a 25-year-old, I'm immediately connected to Orson Welles and Citizen Kane because Ruth Warwick, who was on the show at about 70 years old, was a young woman in Citizen Kane. Right. And when you love the idea of sort of like a Hollywood family tree, the fact that my tree immediately on my first job gets me into Citizen Kane, I'm like, that's incredible. I mean, I used to talk to Ruth about this. Like, tell me about Hollywood studio films in the 30s, 40s, like, and Orson Welles and Citizen Kane. And it was amazing. So, I mean, you're just, I'm sure Ken can speak to that. I mean, like when you get to work with people that makes your tree go deeper into your own resume, I love it. The same way young kids may work with me and be like, oh my God, I work with a guy in Sopranos. I'm like, yeah. I did. And like, that should be really cool. Like I'll tell you all the stories because I love that show. And, you always want to kind of connect yourself. I've got to work with Al Pacino. Like when you get to work with these people and what's really cool is when you're in LA, you get to go onto backlots and work at Raleigh Studios, Warner Brothers. And when you go into your studio to work that day, there's a plaque that tells you all of the films that have shot Gone with the Wind, some great Western, like all of these films that have shot in the studio you're about to go shoot some bad sitcom in or some bad drama. But it's so cool because you go like, I love that. LA is all about that. New York, not as much, but LA really celebrates the kind of caste system of making movies, making television. And it to me, it's always meant a lot. Like, cause I'm a student of the game. Mm-hmm. Ken watches a ton of television, a lot of movies. We both are huge fans of certain actors. And when you get to touch their world, it just connects you to, deep into horror movies, studio films, network TV. I love it.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
And Arnold, Matt Servitto here on the A Game, up to random shots. Questions that are going to come from anywhere, by the way. My random shot will be from our friends at Yellowstone Bourbon. So I must take a shot and say, gentlemen, thank you for coming on. Salute.
Yeah, I need more scotch over here. Who's got my bottle?
Who's got it?
Somebody give Matt some scotch. Matt,
yeah.
Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to separate these two. So I'm going to put actually, Matt, I'm going to put you to work first.
Yeah, get to work.
Each one of you guys are going to get 3 questions, but the questions happen to refer to your friend on the other side. With that in mind, Matt, here's 3 questions about Ken. Let's see how well you know your friend. As we talked about, 9 years of professional baseball. Within 1, how many positions on the diamond did Ken actually play?
I'll say 6.
You're within 1. He had 5, according to baseballreference.com. Ken, do they have that right? First base, second base, mainly a shortstop, played third. You actually played 1 game in center field.
I did in Somerset. They put me out there. I did not like it. That one.
That's the reason why you played one
game. I did not like it.
I did not like it. I do not like green eggs and ham.
I do not like it, Ken has said.
Ken I am.
Did not like it.
Second question. All right, so what 70s TV mom icon did Ken do a movie with?
Oh, shit.
Ken is smiling, so he knows where I'm going with this.
70s? Oh, God.
TV mom icon. She was an icon during the early 70s. I'll give you that clue.
Oh, my God. Well, no, that's probably not right. But I want to say it's the mom from Happy Days. That can't be right. 70s mom, iconic.
Ken, you might as well tell.
Oh my God, I'm blanking on it now.
I have stumped the actor.
Yes. She told me I was handsome. That was good.
Okay. If I say Eco Teen Save the World,
Eco Teen Save the World. That's DeLuca's movie.
Yeah,
that's our producing partner's movie.
DeLuca wrote it.
Yeah.
Shirley Jones ring a bell?
Yeah, Shirley Jones. I was going to say Florence Henderson, but I knew it wasn't Florence. I was like, Shirley Jones. Partridge Family.
Oh, you got to work with Shirley Jones.
Yeah, Shirley Jones.
Oh, my God. I did not know this.
Yeah. I got her and Corbin Burnson on that one.
Yeah,
I know Corbin. Yes, that's right. Dan has talked about this. That's the Corbin Burnson movie. Yeah.
I walked into the room and she's like, "Oh, you're handsome." I was like, "Okay.
Let's go.
Hey, lady."
Yeah, if it was Florence Henderson, it would have been like, yeah.
Shirley Jones. Shirley Jones is cute.
Jones totally had it going.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
Any kid watching the Partridge Family was like, yeah, you may look at Susan A, but some of you were looking at Shirley Jones going, jeez, wow.
Yeah, but Florence had the reputation, right? I mean, that's the thing. Shirley Jones was sexy, but Florence had the reputation of being like, let's go, let's play, right? I think so.
There was that. Yeah, there was rumors about that she actually was on a date with
her and Greg Brady and everything. Yeah.
Down in the comments, Donald M answered before we did. Donald M is in our movie. He's in it.
You cannot look at the comments. You cannot use your lifeline. There is no 50-50, and there's one more question. Matt, true or false on Ken? Ken has a connection in his career with one of the hottest series of the last couple of years, Cobra Kai. Even Ken's like wondering.
I'm going to say false, but I don't know. I mean,
Ken, do you remember a movie where hope grows?
Oh yeah. Billy Zabka was in that. We were in that movie together. Yeah, I never met him.
Is Billy in Cobra Kai?
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then yeah. All right. My bad.
I never got to work with him on Where Hope Grows.
But and that does happen a lot on some films where you're coming in for a day and you don't get to meet the star, which is, I get it, but kind of.
No, people ask me all the time, like, oh, what's this person on like on The Sopranos? I'm like, I have no idea because I didn't work with them. Like Lorraine Bracco and Lorraine's a delight. She's such a sweet woman. We have remained friendly, but like we didn't cross over on the show. So people don't realize if you don't have scenes with people, you don't meet them. You don't see them.
I think that's the thing that a lot of people just don't get or understand about it. And it's something that you gotta have to tell the story. It's like, look, she's a sweet person, but we just never
you don't see them. Yeah.
Well, that's one for Matt. Now, Ken, you got to beat
1 out of 3. That's terrible.
You got to beat one, Ken.
He's going to get them all. He's obsessed with me.
I am.
All right. Within 1. You got 1. Since he had a within 1, you get a within.
How many positions did I play in high school? Baseball.
None.
No. How many times has this man next to you done any kind of Law and Order? How many episodes would you say?
I would say he's done close to 8. He's done 8, 7 or 8.
According to IMDb, he says 8 is the answer.
I would have said 6. So see, that's what I said. He's obsessed with me.
Right? Yeah. By the way, the breakdown was 3 on SVU, 2 on Criminal Intent, and 3 on the original Law and Order itself.
Very nice.
We are now tied. Second question. This is a little more personal. Ken, about Matt. Wedding anniversary for Matt is coming up this year. Which anniversary is it?
Even Matt doesn't know this. just
you may have to go to the
throw
third
it out there, bro.
19.
You're off by 1. It's this year.
I got married. I got married 5 days after 9/11.
Yeah.
So
I got married
20.
We almost canceled our wedding. 9/11. We were engaged. We were getting married. 9/11 happened. We were going to cancel our wedding, And then everybody in New York said, please, dude, do not cancel your wedding. Like, there's nothing to do. The city was shut down. People had donated blood. City was still on fire down below 14th Street. And so we had the wedding, and so many of our friends came, and they were so grateful. It was an incredibly emotional weekend. But, yeah, we got married September 15th, 2000. Right?
Matt, sounds like no regrets on that. It was actually sort of like maybe a little healing to have that kind of celebration in the midst of all the tragedy.
Oh no, totally. That's what everybody said. It was like, because there was tears. We sang New York, New York. We sang God Bless America. There was so much like arms around each other, hugging and kissing. That we've always said our wedding was less about like two dumb young kids getting married and more about a bunch of people just wanting to come together to celebrate love and healing and life going on. So to this day, there are friendships that came out of my wedding that are amazing to me. And I'm like, oh God, because everyone was supposed to fly, nobody could fly. So everybody that came to my wedding drove, and we paired people up from Chicago, Detroit, New York, Pittsburgh. They all drove in these carpools to our wedding, and those friendships have lasted to this day. It was really amazing.
That's a great story. That really is. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it.
It was incredible. The marriage is on the rocks, but listen, let's just celebrate 2000. Yeah, I mean, it was amazing.
There we go. We'll celebrate the here and the now.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
By the way, we are tied, so this could end in a tie.
No, I think Ken's winning. Oh no, he was.
No, you're tied.
I was one off. I was one
off. So,
all right.
Either for the win or for the tie, we're going to play 6 Degrees of Matt Servitto. Try to connect him within 6 of Matthew McConaughey, and there is a shortcut that you should think about here because there is a connection that could get you there quick.
Matthew McConaughey,
and I'm going to tell you, there's a connection that's even quicker than what he could come up with. But go ahead.
My God, Matthew McConaughey. So let me get Matt to Matthew McConaughey. Matt worked on Hitch, which Will Smith worked on, and Will Smith worked on. Good God, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which.
Which Matthew McConaughey was not on.
Why did you declare this a tie?
And then Carlton, Alfonso Ribeiro.
The stars with
worked on, and then I don't know. How am I going to get there?
Listen, I'm going to get there.
No, Matthew McConaughey worked with Julia Roberts, and Julia Roberts was on All My Children, and Matt was on All My Children. No?
Well, wait. Julia never made it. She tried out for All My Children.
No, she never was on the show. I don't think she was ever there.
No. That's, by the way, if you get a chance, Bill Timoney tells the whole story of how she screen tested.
I want to hear that. I'm gonna look up that.
By the way, Matt, I actually sent you that episode just so you can listen to that whole story.
Bill tells the best stories.
Amazing stories. I'm gonna have him back in a couple of months. He's got more.
Have the two of us on together because
you know what? I'll do that. I would love that. I will definitely.
Bill and I like love topping each other and love laughing together. He's great.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, this is probably the shortest distance I could find. Matthew McConaughey was in The Wolf of Wall Street with Henry Zabrowski.
Oh yeah.
There it is.
Who is now in the Comedy of Horrors Volume 1 with this man.
He is in Comedy of Horrors. All right.
That's the fastest route.
So the one I was thinking of is Jared Leto, who was in Dallas Buyers Club with Matthew McConaughey, was in what's the band he did? 6 Seconds from Mars.
30 Seconds to Mars.
Okay. The guitar player on that was God, what's his name? The female lead in Banshee was Ivana Milicevic. Her brother was the guitar player in Jared Leto's band.
That's an interesting way to get there. I like that.
I'm telling you, we all went the band. So they came and played Charlotte at like the big outside amphitheater in Charlotte. The entire Banshee cast went, and we hung out with Jared Leto and her brother and the band, and we were on stage with them at the end of the concert. And it was incredible. And like to just hang out. And Dallas Buyers Club had just come out. So there was this really like Jared Leto thing. And he was incredible. He's such a sweet guy. And Ivana's brother's amazing. And Jesus, why am I forgetting on his name? He's got a really interesting. She is Croatian, and she has her and her whole family all have really interesting names. But anyways, that brought me kind of really close to the McConaughey universe, the hot zone of McConaughey.
I think it's appropriate that you guys ended in a tie on that.
Oh,
I think it made sense.
And listen, I've slept with his wife. He slept with mine. So it's still
a tie.
That was a baseball thing back in 1974 with the wife swapping. Wait a second.
It's
Come
still
on.
a tie.
Listen, that would be a good movie. You're talking about, Ken, we should make a movie set like in baseball minor leagues 1970s.
I would love
kind
to.
of drugs, wife swapping, like big mustaches and like, I think that could be fun. Like of all the baseball shit we've talked about, like doing a kind of Studio 54 version of baseball in the 70s would be pretty cool.
I think it would work. I think that'd be an interesting film.
It started tonight. It started right here tonight.
Right here. We're gonna write it. We're gonna write that. We're gonna write.
You have no idea. That's actually how we make film.
Well, speaking of film,
that's sad.
I'll mention the film that's coming out on the 27th in a second, but give me photo number 5 because you were mentioning this through the podcast. This is your next project.
Oh, look at that.
A Town Called Purgatory. That's the one you're going to be filming overseas, right?
Yes.
So when will we see the light of day on that? Was that going to be a 2022 thing you're looking at, or
I don't know, man. We could rush that to market. We're shooting spring of 2021. It could be ready to roll out at holidays late this year. Ken, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm thinking if we can get on it and stay on the post-production side of it, we can get it done before. I was thinking October, so it's ready for the like a November rollout.
It's also because there's very little coming to market right now. Like everybody's been in COVID and in quarantine. So one of the things we've been saying is like we want to make material both with Comedy of Horrors and with Town Called Purgatory. Like we can get this stuff to market very quickly because we have not shut down. Ken and I have tried to keep, being really smart about COVID and making sure that we're safe.
Right.
We've had nothing happen on any of our sets, and we just want to kind of keep the party going and make content. And I think we can keep Purgatory. A Town Called Purgatory is Dan DeLuca, a dear friend of ours, wrote this incredible script that is such a deep, wonderful mystery, and it's a great, kind of COVID script because it's a small cast, one location. These two cowboys show up in a town, and there's no one there, and they can't figure out what happened. And once they figure out what happened, they want to get out of town, and they can't. And it's just that is the perfect kind of thriller that, we want to make. And we've got an amazing cast, a great European cast, international cast, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait.
You guys sound like you're very conscious of the fact of with COVID, knowing that, hey, the testing, the budgets, because you got to factor in budgets have become a little more expensive because you got to factor in the COVID testing. So suddenly a small independent film becomes this, okay, now the budget went up by 1/3. How do we get the funding? How do we do all that? And I can imagine the juggling act that's going on. But it sounds like you found a formula that's working at least, and that's more power to you in the middle of all this.
Yeah, I mean, we had to shift some stuff around, but we were able to do it, and we managed. And we're shooting in Europe, and they're pretty strict right now over there with the whole COVID. So we have to do all the testing every day. And like Matt was saying, it's a small cast and a small crew, so that makes it a little easier and a little less expensive. Right. But it's still there. So.
As we get ready to wrap up, one more time, it's March 27th. Give me photo 6 one more time so we give everybody the information. It is a Comedy Horrors Volume 1. It will be screening locally in Asbury Park at the Asbury Hotel. It is at 8 o'clock. Now, you can get the film through their app. You can get the app anywhere you want through iTunes and what have you, and you can screen the film that way. If you need more information, go to gsffbot.org and find out everything. In the meantime, Ken, congratulations on the film. Best of luck with you and everything. We'll definitely have you back again.
Yes,
and I will set this up with Bill. And by the way, Billions is where you just did a episode of, so we'll look forward to seeing that. And
we can talk about Billions next time. I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, that's the great thing. I mean, with you, it's like I could do 3 episodes on hitting this man alone, and I like the idea of having you and Timothy and seeing who's going to want
to. Listen, he cracks me up, and he's such a funny guy, and he tells a story in such a great way, but his knowledge of All My Children and soap operas, and he just knows the gossip. He was in on things. I was a young kid, like Bill was a little bit older. He knew all what was happening. He's great, and he's just a great guy, and I would love to even just sit and bullshit with you on this show would be great.
Let me tell you something. He's been so supportive of this show. He's helping me out with other guests. I mean, I owe him so much already. So, Bill, if you're watching, thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything you've been doing for me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Guys, have fun on the 27th. Look forward to streaming the movie as well. That's it for me. I'll be back again Tuesday night. Be looking on my Facebook page. Be looking on my YouTube channel. If you're not subscribing, subscribe. It's not costing you anything. Just subscribe. Check out all the other 40 episodes that are out there. And we've mentioned a couple of the people that have already been on this show. Thanks again to Ken and Matt. Until next time, take care. Thanks for being a part of it.
Thank you, Rob.